as I like hope that this all works. All right, so I think this is the best I'm gonna be able to do, and I'm kind of gonna be rushing it. So hey guys, yeah, it's been like what 5 whole weeks that I haven't been able to update at all, and I was supposed to do it on a weekly basis, and it's just a lot of stuff has been happening. Um, question is where to start. Okay, well let's start with something I call Operation Relocation, which is the me trying to set up how to move with my current situation. Now, the biggest obstacle I have when it comes to moving is that I have a electric bill that's quite substantial. I think I talked about it before in the past. The bill's like I'm gonna round it off to $6,000. So I have a $6,000 electric bill here, and last week I was actually able to pay about half. With a lot of savings and a lot, this, that, and whatever, I was able to pay. I think as of earlier this week, hold on. As of earlier this week, I was able to actually pay off about half of that. Now, a little bit less than half now I think about it, because in order for me to like pay for it, I utilize a lot of help and aid from the community, government and federal aid there to be able to help me lower down the bill. Matter of fact, I'm still waiting on like one more group of people, which is the most frustrating thing, especially during COVID, because a lot of offices are closed. So when I go to the office, buildings are shut down. When I try to call, if I get somebody, it's one of those. Okay, well, we'll be able. I'm like the person I'm talking to might like if I talk to somebody, I might get somebody on the phone. If I don't, I have to leave a message. But if I do get somebody, it might not be the person who I need to get a hold of. And they're like, okay, whenever that person is reachable again through us, we will tell them to get a hold of you. And it's like, so much stuff to try to juggle. And today, I like my day started pretty early, and I just recently got back, like less than a couple minutes ago. I needed, let's say my my therapist, I needed him to sign off on the relocation per se. So I was like, hey, and we were supposed to meet yesterday, but he had his own thing going on with COVID. That something happened and he had to stay home as a precaution. Not that he had COVID, but like, he has kids and everything else. Kids, school's kind of out for a lot of different districts around here. So, he had to be home. So we rescheduled for the next day, being today. And he knew that like I definitely wanted to get this ball rolling. As like I'm getting messages right now. So I go and talk to him, and he's like, I'm not gonna sign this. I'm like, then why am I here? I got other places to go and other things to do. So luckily I actually had my specialist sign off on it. But she herself had a very small window for me to get to. So going over to her office, she was able to like, okay, here it is, sign it, dot dot, circle here, there, good. You good? Good. You don't have to go to the next place. Like today, I picked up my granddad at 9 o'clock in the morning. We didn't finish with all his errand running until noon. Noon 30 is when I had the other appointment, all like 30 minutes away from where I dropped, like from where my granddad lives. So I drive all the way back, all the way to that appointment to find out he wasn't gonna sign it. As soon as I got out early, and I was like, hey doc, you think you can sign this? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's make this happen. But she lived an hour, like her office is like an hour away from where I was, so I had to. More like 50 minutes, but like estimating an hour. So I had to drive all the way up there just for her to sign it. But I had to drive all the way down to my next meeting, which happened to be maybe 30 minutes from where that was. We made some more phone calls and having to deal with more people. It was actually the agency that we're waiting for the last bit of the money so that, it can actually be half and we can move on with the operation relocation. However, it was just frustrating. The idea, like, while I'm talking to this person on the phone, she seemed to have no idea what was going on. But apparently, they don't make notes on the computer or what have you. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have to walk you through this process, what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. So, like, and I did that with my my temporary partner because my actual partner happens to. That's something else. Had a baby, guys. Like, beautiful, beautiful baby. Oh, goodness. I'm not gonna say her name Not yet, because I don't know if I have permission to do so, but her baby is adorable. I cannot wait to see it. Luckily, I get to see A at the end of the month, so that's something. So, and her temporary replacement, Danellen, Danelle. I think that's how you pronounce it. But since it takes me so long to process that, I just call her D. So I just call her Agent D. So me and Agent D was talking to this organization, trying to get this one woman to catch up to what I have been doing, and that's already frustrating. But she was like, "Okay, did you get this done?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Did you get this done?" "Yeah." "Did you get this done?" "Yeah." "Did you get this done?" "Yeah." "Did you do this?" "Yeah, I did that." "Did you do this?" Shit! It was like one thing that slipped up. It's like, oh, we're gonna have you do that before we can move forward. I'm like, all right, bet I can do that by tomorrow, no problem. So that's something I'm going to do after this live catch up that I'm giving you guys. After that, I went to go see my beautiful girlfriend. Like she was kind of feeling a little bit down in the dumps. I went to go say hi. Princess was happy to see me, so that's always a good thing. You know, building up that rapport, learning how to not just share my girlfriend with her own daughter, but also learning to play with Princess and being able to like create a bond there. I think that's a really good thing. I was there for an hour, then I had to go down to my granddad's again because I had his tools that he left in the car like prior in the week, and I forgot to give them to him. So I drove all the way back to his place. I put ever see those metal stickers on the back of cars? Yeah, I got 2 of them now. Because I just happened to be there, and he happened to have the tools I needed in case something went wrong, and something did go wrong. So luckily I was there that he was able to help out with that. And then I dropped off the paperwork that I got because that's on the way home. So I drove on the way home, and I stopped by. I called him like, "Hey, is it okay? I drop by. I drive by and drop off this paperwork." So like, "Yeah, that's fine." I'm like, "Cool. I'm in the parking lot. I'm about to come up to the door in like 5 seconds. I hope you're all ready." So I have the paper. I'm like, "Okay, this is the one form. Here you go. This is the other form. Here you go." All right. So and I was talking to Paris. I think it was last week, and he was like, "Yo, man, with all the stuff that's going on with this Operation R, maybe you can put it on down payment so you don't lose this place." I'm like, that's a good idea. So I was like, "Hey, is there when I saw the lady who is currently my go-to when it comes to this apartment that I've been more or less obsessed about for like the past month or so, and even though I told myself I wouldn't get this way, I guess I got this way, and I'm like, all right, is there any way I could put a down payment on this apartment so that I know that I got it, I don't got to worry about it?" She's like, "We don't do that here." I'm like, is that right? Is that like you don't accept like money? No, we just don't hold it for people. I'm like, "Oh, what is it? What am I doing?" It's like, "Oh, this is part of the application process." I'm like, well, and like, keep in mind, like for the past several weeks, I'm thinking like, okay, I do all this, and it's a fast track. And then she continues telling me that like, all right, so she can't send in the documentation. Someone has to come down and pick it up. One, because it might be a new policy or because of the whole COVID thing, but someone else has to come by and pick up this documentations, which might happen this Friday or next Monday. And on top of that, and keep in mind, whenever A brought this apartment to my attention, it was to believe that like, okay, granted, like it might go to the higher ups, but more or less, she's like, "Yeah, I don't see a problem with you getting this apartment, even with your history." She was like, "Yeah, I really think it's going to be a more or less a slam dunk for you." So like for her to be like, "Okay, well, this is the application process, the whole running around you've been doing for the past 2 to 3 weeks, still in the application process." I'm like, "Okay, well, shit, I brought my hopes up really high." And I didn't say this out loud, but I started to feel a little bit down. And then she was like, and then someone above that person, gotta make these choices of whether or not you get this apartment. I'm like, my thought was I was gonna get this apartment. That like it was more or less as long as I made sure that the electric situation was taken care of, and I'd be able to put it in my name, that the apartment is virtually mine. And to find out that really, it might not be. It might not be. Somebody who has not as a complicated history as me might get that apartment. And it's kind of like, well, shit. So I dropped off that paperwork, and then I remembered that, like, okay, well, I know a friend who actually got this TV that I'm currently using. She gave me the money for the TV. Well, no, she gave me the TV. And she has allowed me to pay her in like payments. So I put up money from my account, and then I went down to her place. Luckily, she was awake. Sometimes she just isn't. And I was like, all right, here's the last payment. Everything's paid off. Thank you very much for giving me the TV and the stand. And like there's even a hookup that I can put up to the wall and can rotate. I'm like, yo, thank you for letting me pay you in segments like this. I really do appreciate it. It's like, yeah, no problem. Friends do what friends do, and we got a lot of history. So so then I drive home, and I pull up into my driveway, and I'm like, as busy as I was today, I felt happy. Like, I'm exhausted. Don't get me wrong. I'm exhausted. I still got shit to do. I still gotta send out this one documentation for another organization that might help me lower down the electric bill even more. I also, since this is November and it's Veteran Suicide Prevention Month, Veterans Suicide Awareness Month, I wanted to do 22 push-ups a day. However, I missed the last 2 days, so I gotta do it today. And I'm just tired. I'm tired, but I'm tired in a good way, because everything today, everything, I forgot, I checked in today, which is good. Once again, I told them I was moving too, so if I don't end up moving, it's so but all of today was for me. So even though I'm tired, I'm happy because the things I did are all direct, a direct line to helping me better my life. So as tired as I am, the smile's still on my face, because I think I'm going in the right direction. Even though my therapist thinks that I might be going a little bit too far, or that I'm doing it the wrong way, I think that I'm going in the right direction. I think I'm doing the right thing. She's not up here. Oh, okay, my bad. Family. So even though all that stuff is happening, I do feel that I'm going in the right direction. So yeah. What else is happening? The Legacy Project. So I wrote a face-to-face proposal. I sent it to my son's mother about 2 to 3 weeks ago. And I think last week she said that she needed to make some phone calls before she can talk to me. And I'm like, about what exactly? We're supposed to be doing this co-parenting thing. If you're not going to open up to me, if you're not going to talk to me, what's the point of co-parenting? It's not going to be just you. If I have... I showed it to her. I'm like, hey, if you have any suggestions, any ideas on how to make this idea better, let me know. If you have any concerns or anything, let's talk about it. Let's do the co-parenting thing, the thing that we're supposed to do, because we share a child, communication. Yeah, the whole shebang. And the things I need to tell you. Not the things I need to tell you. So Xavier, my son, heard him, he stepped on the nail a couple weeks back. And I didn't find out until later on that day. It was he stepped on it in the afternoon. I found out about it late evening, and it's why am I not being at least contacted or informed? She means, I'm his father. Why am I not being informed about this? She's like, well, I had to worry about his well-being and everything. It takes literally less than a minute to be like, hey, this is what's going on. And if you have a good rapport about that, if I know you're in the midst of it, I'm all right, cool, thank you for letting me know. Keep me updated when you can. But once again, I always feel like I am the last to know, and she has made that a pinnacle of how she treats me. The idea I'm the last to know. I don't need to be directly informed of what's going on in his life, and that hurts me. And I don't how do you tell somebody who virtually, in my eyes, has my son I have him, and I can be harsh. Look, I don't know. It's kind of if I happen to push too hard, if I happen to be too aggressive or assertive, then she's gonna be well, I'm just gonna pull back. I just won't tell you nothing. It's shit. I'm getting something, but at the same time, I don't want to be the last one to know. And the situation happened again where apparently she moved. Last Thursday, oh yeah, we're moving, and I didn't catch that message until Tuesday. I'm oh, okay, well, cool, what's happening? She's okay, well, I already told the court that we're moving. I'm according to the documentations, is not a level of notification. It's more or less you have to okay it with me. She already moved to, like, it's the same town, but she already moved. And she's like, well, we're still at the old place and everything else, and we're still paying bills there. It's just like a transitional period. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, but Xavier's really excited to have you see his room. 1 second, love. So, like, my whole, like, I'm like, all right, so he's already at the new place. They already got furniture, clothes, like, it's not the whole shebang, but, like, they're doing that move shit. Which, you know, they could be there moving and it just happened to be visitation time, but it's kind of like, I'm the last one to know now. Again, I'm the last one to know. And, like, I'm trying not to lose my patience. Because I know once I lose my temper, I've already lost. And I don't mean like on the like internal way. I mean like if I lose my temper, I'm gonna do something. If I do something, then that something will lead to me losing the progress that I've already done. So it's one of those things like just kind of grit your teeth, bring it up later in front of somebody who could do something, aka a judge or what have you, mediator or what have you. And you know, for right now, just like make a note. You know, all right, she has a tendency of letting me literally be the last person to know and doesn't think that I need to be involved in any kind of decision making. And keep in mind, like, I showed her the proposal after showing my specialist therapist, skills, service access management, my support team. I showed a lot of people the proposal before I showed it to her for her input. Now, I can understand that she kind of wants some more time to process it, but she wasn't asking. She's like, I need to make some phone calls. I'm like, for what? So, like, understand my level when it comes to all that right now is kind of high. Like, tension is, like, to me, is kind of high. So, like, it's just kind of like, we have a date set for December. Oh, you guys probably don't know. We actually had a meeting last September, which I don't know why it says I've only been, like, not doing these things for like 5 weeks. It feels longer than that, but like we had a hearing in September and she didn't show. She thought the time was wrong. So the next step is now December is going to be like a pre-hearing kind of thing. So I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row for that. So I guess I'm just at this point, I want to make sure, one, if I slip out once, she can do all the wrong, and they're going to be like, oh, you know, single mother, yada, yada, yada. If I mess up once, it's going to be like, you just lost everything. So I'm trying to do my best to kind of, like, you know, suck it up, pull up the big boy pants, and take care of what I need to take care of, so that whenever it comes time to, like, okay, what have you been doing? Like, let me show you my work. So I guess I got a couple more weeks to kind of figure, not figure things out, but kind of prepare for the worst case scenario. And the worst case scenario doesn't happen, great, but if it does, at least I'm prepared. Halloween was a couple days ago. I went as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was pretty awesome to me anyway. My beautiful girlfriend went as the female version of Pennywise, which was freaking scary. Princess was not able to come with us, though. That was a weekend she was with her dad, which was kind of sad. Very, very sad. But on the plus side, my girlfriend and me chaperoned my little sister and her friends while they were trick-or-treating. So that was that was a cool thing for me. The night didn't go too well because of certain other things that were happening outside of all of that. But like, I still think that it was a pretty good experience that we had. And afterwards, me and my girlfriend went out to Walmart. We got a bunch of candy because I came up with this idea, like, yo, how about we do this? Whenever Princess comes home, we put her in her Halloween outfit and we just, you know, take her down to your parents' place, because my parents already gave her a bunch of candy. So we take her down to her parents' place and we, you know, do like, you know, a trick or treat of ourselves. Like, you know, she goes person, get like little treats here and there. Even had a little scavenger hunt. So like, you know, it worked out pretty cool. Like I thought, but you know, I'm just one man. I have my opinion, but Princess seemed to really like it. So that's the important thing. My girlfriend's parents seem to really enjoy it too, so that was also definitely a good thing. I am trying to get back into a gaming schedule. Actually, for the month of October, every week, me and my little sister were playing like an indie horror game. The first week we played. Hey, what game did you play the first week? No, that was the second week. No, no, that was the second and third week. We played that schoolgirl game. Yeah, we played a game that like you had to run away from this high school girl who was trying to kill you in your school after hours. That was fun, freaking scary. If you haven't checked it out, it's on the YouTube channel for Second Chance Gaming. The week after that, we played Tattletale, which is a pretty freaking game. I don't like Furbies at all anymore, not at all. The fourth week, we played a game called Linger. And that game was very creepy, very, like, the atmosphere was very well built. A couple mechanic problems, but, like, it was still a pretty freaky game. I hate scary games. The entire month of scary games, I hated. Hated it completely. And I think I wanted us to play another game. Hey, what game did I say that we were going to play for the last week? We ended up not being able to do it. We were going to we were going to play Don't Fall Asleep. And, we just didn't have the time. Yeah, just been crazy busy with everything that's going on. And everything that's still going on. Man, just a lot of stuff going on. And it's November right now, obviously. So I'm trying to do my best to kind of keep things together. But working on it. But luckily I got a lot of people who are very helpful. Obviously my little sister outside my room. My girlfriend, obviously, and her daughter, who's amazing, and her parents, which are also totally great. My friends, BB, Big D, guys, there's so many of you guys that have helped me out through the past couple of weeks. If I started making a list now, I still wouldn't be done by the end of the year. Like, so thank you all of you who've been able to be helpful. I don't know. We just figure out how next week goes. Hopefully next week will be a lot better than. I can't even say it's going to be that I'm hoping it'll be a lot better, because technically, in a way, it's been going all right. But, like, you know. How did Michael say it? The sun will rise when the moon sets, so we must brace yourself for what happens next. So regardless of what happened today, I got to ready myself for tomorrow. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate having this avenue to kind of vent and talk, and like, thanks. Just thanks. Thank you, all of you, tremendously. And hopefully, I will try to keep this going, because I wanted to get 40. I'm on 27 right now, and I have, what, 7 more weeks of the year left? So maybe twice a week? I don't know. I don't know if I even have time for that, but once again, I'll figure it out. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.